Hello and welcome tonight. Countdown to 2016, President Muhammadu Buhari promises to continue as a trusted leader. Court of Appeal in Owerri nullifies election of Okezie Ikpeazu, orders INEC to organize swearing-in of Abia's Alex Oti. Also today, Court of Appeal dashes hope of Aisha Al-Hassan of becoming first female governor in Nigeria. Court dismisses tribunal's judgment in her favor. A massive fire outbreak in a hotel in Dubai as New Zealand, Australia and China enter the new year.
And in business news tonight, the Nigerian stock market surged 3.11% to close the year in the green.
On sports news tonight, NFF President Amaju Pinnick gives assurances women's football will get more attention in 2016.
From Abuja and Gloria Musiki, Taraba State Governor Darius Ishaku attributes victory to the nation's incorruptible judiciary as his supporters jubilated the appeal court's judgment.
I'm Sulaiman Alede, and it's the eve of the new year 2016. The president has vowed to do whatever he can to keep every Nigerian and keep all his promise made to Nigerians during the election campaign. President Muhammadu Buhari made this pledge in his message to Nigerians to usher in the new year. In a statement personally signed by him, the president acknowledges the difficulties being faced by businesses and ordinary Nigerians in their daily lives, especially regarding the ongoing fuel scarcity. He points out that living in the State House has not alienated him from the sufferings of the people, given the assurance that these challenges are only temporary, as his government is working to make things better. He states, quote, "When I presented myself to you as a presidential candidate, I wanted to be a leader who restores the people's hope in those elected to serve them. I wanted to be a leader who initiates positive and enduring change. I'm still totally committed to being that kind of leader." End of quote. The president says his administration has been laying the foundation for the past 7 months, and Nigerians will soon begin to enjoy the fruits of the ongoing work. The president commends the armed forces for significantly curtailing the insurgency in the northeast, but adds that a lot still needs to be done to consolidate the successes in the terror fight, as well as the campaign against corruption. He concludes on a note of hope, saying, quote, "Our challenges are many, but our determination to succeed is strong and unshaken. So too is our confidence in God." End of quote. An appeal court sitting in Owerri, the Imo State capital, has declared the candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, Mr. Alex Oti, as winner of the Abia State governorship election. The court, in its ruling, ordered the swearing-in of Mr. Oti as governor of Abia State and asked Mr. Okezie Ikpeazu to vacate their office. Mr. Ikpeazu of the People's Democratic Party was declared winner of the election, which held in April by the Independent National Electoral Commission. In a phone interview with Channels Television, Mr. Oti dedicates his victory to the people of Abia State.
What has happened today is simply what...
Power belongs to God. I also thank the people of Abia State for standing by me. It has been a social journey that started last year through elections up to the tribunal, the lower tribunal, and God has made a name for himself in Abia State, and I'm glad that justice has been done after all, because the election was clearly won by me, but my opponent scored the victory. So you, like you said, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. So this is morning. My long-suffering Abia people.
Well, did you see your victory at the appeal court coming? Did you anticipate it?
Yes, I did, because I knew clearly that I won the election. And if justice had to be done, then the right thing to do would be to declare the winner of the election. So I knew that I would get justice, and I never lost faith in the ability of the judiciary, which is the last hope of the common man.
Lawyers to both parties also reacted to this ruling by the Court of Appeal.
What has happened today is simply what the entire Abia State have been waiting for. Yes. There is no doubt in Abia State Lesotho won the election by over 80% of the votes. And that is why when they stole the mandate at the tribunal, not even one soul was excited. Not even one soul was happy. But I will urge you to go to Abia State today. You will see celebration along the streets. Especially the city of the rigging, the mammoth rigging, the nuclear rigging that took place in those three local governments, especially the Obingwa local government, Iselangwa North local government, and Osiomangwa local government, have been unveiled today to be not only overvoting, but a big fraud on the people of Abia State.
But every court has right to deliver judgment. The court has delivered a judgment. We'll look at it and then consult with our clients and take the next step.
Are you satisfied with this judgment?
I'm not a party. I'm a counselor. I have my opinion, but I take instruction from parties. It's nothing about personal views about it. But like you know, we won at the tribunal. The Court of Appeal does not agree with us. The Supreme Court will tell us finally where the justice of the matter lies. And it's good that all the parties are approaching the court, using the court system. It's peaceful, there's no problem.
Abia State Governor Ikpeazu says he's yet to receive a formal briefing on the decision of the Court of Appeal sitting in Owerri to upturn his election. While briefing journalists in Umuahia, Ikpeazu expressed confidence in the ability of the Supreme Court to correct what he describes as the anomaly of the Court of Appeal. He notes preliminary reports at his disposal suggest the premise in which the ruling was made is not in accordance with the rule of law. He says he's instructed his lawyers to appeal the judgment of the Supreme Court. Ikpeazu says he remains the governor of the state and urged his supporters to remain calm while calling on security operatives to maintain peace and forestall any breakdown of law and order. And now being joined on the News at 10 by a legal practitioner, Mr. Ihenya. He joins us to look at this issue. First, good to have you join us this evening on the News at 10.
Thank you very much.
Going through the judgment, which has been, getting reaction from both parties, it would seem as if something that has to do with three key local government areas is the crux of this particular decision of the appeal.
Yes, it is about the votes cast in Osisioma, Isialangwa, and one other local government. I think the major reason for the Court of Appeal overturning the judgment is overvoting and substantial non-compliance with the electoral law and, of course, the Constitution. That is the reason the Court of Appeal gave for upturning the judgment, as it were.
So these contentious local government areas, recall on that day, INEC had withheld the results of these three local governments. So did the appeal further looked into the results, and what did they do with the results?
I think what happened is because of overvoting, according to the Court of Appeal, they had to now subtract the illegal votes, as it were, from the real votes. Having done that, I think the PDP scored 144 164,000 votes, and the Abga scored, I think, 164,000 votes. I think that is what happened there.
It will seem as easy as the way you just explained it, but you've heard that the governor has said that that is not in accordance with the rule of law, which he said he's going to appeal to the Supreme Court.
Of course, what we have right now are just snippets of the judgments.
Absolutely.
I mean, what we're able to garner from the internet and the rest of it. But having said that, I think if the reasons given for delivering that judgment, I mean for turning the judgment of the electoral tribunal, is as stated, about overvoting and of course non-compliance with substantial non-compliance with the Electoral Act. I think it is a very sound judgment, if you ask me. If those are the reasons, and if there are no other reasons, there are no other underlying issues, well, of course, the PDP still has the opportunity and, of course, the constitutional right to go to the Supreme Court to ventilate their grievances, since they are not happy with the judgment.
Very quickly, what does this say about our democracy going forward, knowing full well that also today we saw what happened in Taraba State, and we're getting to see what has just happened also in Abia State? Is this some kind of good omen for our democracy?
I must say it's a good omen. When people are not satisfied with their loss at the polls, I think the proper thing to do is to go to court instead of thuggery and, of course, other ways of trying to resolve electoral disputes. The best thing to do is to go to court. If you win at the court, of course, you still have the opportunity to appeal to the Supreme Court. And if you then lose at the Supreme Court, of course, you appeal to God.
Osawe, many thanks for speaking with us on the News at 10.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
In part 2, after the break, Appeal Court dismisses tribunal judgment on Taraba election, declares Governor Darius Ishaku winner of the polls. Stay with us.